times like these, it's important to remember the good things. Sure, the economy may be a little rough, and we may be shuttering schools, hospitals, and libraries to pay union pensions. But San Andreas is still the place where dreams are made. This is where counterculture began and then morphed into a nanny state. A place that preaches environmental stewardship but has a terrible public transit system and the worst air in the world. Experience more of San Andreas, the suburban sprawl, no sense of community, and no building more than 30 years old. Where fluffy children's theme park animals are both our heritage and our culture. San Andreas leads the country in removing pristine first-growth forest to build generic strip malls and tract mansions. San Andreas, we won't be broken hypocrites forever. Brought to you by the San Andreas Tourism Board.
You love sports, but isn't it time to forget about friendly rivalries, tailgate parties, and marching bands? It's time America joined the rest of the world.
Who's the Laker in the black?
Embrace the global passion of soccer at the next Los Santos Vendors home game. Let off flares, riot, and commit race crimes, just like the sophisticated Europeans do. Come feel the excitement of a Vendors home game, while a normal post-game melee may result in a couple of burnt cars. A proper English riot can burn a town to shreds. It's time America finally joined in on the fun. The LS Vendors. Season tickets only $50.
Who's the Laker in the black?
You've accidentally killed a family of 4. We all know these things happen. You need to get out of jail to beat the shit out of your old lady for getting you into this mess in the first place. But you need money for bail. That's where we come in. At Jay's Bail Bonds. We're your new friend. We're here in your time of need. But skip town on us and we'll hunt you down like the vermin you are. You may be in a lot of trouble with the law, but now you're in debt to an angry, unregulated lunatic who will be happy to take a shit on the Constitution to get their money back. Contact Jay's Bail Bonds today.
When the grid goes down, America will be plunged into decades of darkness. Are you ready? Get your complete apocalypse kit at Ammunition. Contains foodstuffs and alcohol for 3 months. A massive array of armaments. Cartons of cigarettes to trade with roadside wanderers. Plus, the apocalypse kit contains birth control, so you don't create any more mouths to feed. Pornography. And a wind-up radio so you can hear news reports about the idiots who didn't prepare. It also includes a seed kit. When there's rampant cannibalism going on, what you want to do is take up gardening. Perhaps you can barter for your life with a carrot. You'll learn how to make a tourniquet, cauterize a stump if you have to saw off your arm or leg, making booby traps, bushcraft, and how to determine if your significant other has been replaced by a body double. We all know Y2K was a bust, but trust us, this one is real. We can pretty much guarantee a real apocalypse will happen soon. Order the Ammunition Apocalypse Kit today. It's an investment in the inevitable. You won't regret Ammunition, protecting your rights.
The talk that rocks and rolls you. Stillwater's 108 FM. WMD Boom.
I'm not quite sure why this is that they keep portraying older white men as loud, as boisterous, as repeating themselves, that they are loud. I don't understand why they keep taking people and putting them in these violent video games and making them sound as though they're just older buffoons, as though they don't have a life experience on this sort of thing, as if they don't understand the horrors of war. I served in our armed services. I know the horrors of war. And what's being shown in these violent video games is not the horrors of war. It's something else. It's some sort of stylized fantasy.
It's certainly horrors, but maybe not the horrors of war. War that you
horrors.
Saw. Yes.
Horrors, not horrors. I don't mind horrors. I don't mind the horrors.
I see.
I believe that we are taking our youth and we're giving them this idealized viewpoint of war, that they can take one of these discs and put them inside these games and start things up. And after the title sequence finishes, boom, they're in the middle of some war that there's no consequences whatsoever. This is the thing.
None.
No
consequences.
consequences. You kill somebody, hey, you move on and kill somebody else.
And it tries to portray salt-of-the-earth, blue-collar America, hardworking white professionals who are essentially the backbone of the society as loud and blustery and boisterous and that they repeat themselves, and that's not the case. That isn't true.
I don't believe
it's
that's
a bad message to send to kids.
No, it is a bad message to send to kids.
Yeah,
the fact that they keep telling the same story over and over again, that they have these people repeating themselves over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, all you read in the newspaper is about these games and these kids growing up to kill people in real life.
Yeah.
And they're getting younger and younger all the time. There was a 6-year-old toddler in North Stillwater that took a gun and blew away his grandparents. 6 months old, picking up a weapon as though it was, simply lying on the ground, and had some sort of number floating over it so that when you actually picked it up, it did something. It gave you some sort of credit.
Right.
I don't buy this.
And it just sends a message that hey, minorities are cool and that's who you want to be.
How can they possibly think that?
And if you can grow up to be a white shop owner, watch out, you're going to get a bullet in the spleen. It's just inevitable and it's going to happen.
Why would they not take God-fearing Christian white people and make them the heroes of these games?
They should.
Why is that
They're
not
the heroes
case?
of real life.
That's exactly right.
And these people are selling escapism, but it's the wrong kind of escapism. You want to escape into the Bible. You want to escape into your family's past. Sit down with a veteran and ask them about their life.
The world of Jesus.
Right.
This man had an interesting life. You want to talk about a violent video game?
Oh, boy.
How about a violent video game about Jesus' life?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
This man suffered.
But you know what? These kids would not learn. They would all want to be Judas. Every one of these kids would say, hey, I'm going to be Judas. And,
I think there ought to be a law. There ought to be a law that you cannot play the bad guy in a game, in any game. Why would we want to teach our children those values? Oh, hey, I don't want to be the cop. I want to be the robber.
Yeah, I'm going to walk right by this storefront and steal this apple, and there's nothing anybody can do to me.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that tell our youth of today? And these games are very popular.
When we were growing up, we would play, Cowboys and Indians.
Right.
Who wanted to be the Indian?
Nobody.
No one.
No one.
Because you know what happened to them.
Yes, you do know what happened.
And they deserved it, and
rightfully so.
Sure.
Sure. They were the bad guys.
Right.
The Indians were the bad guys. The Cowboys were the good guys. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right.
White hat, white horse,
Right.
silver bullet,
Exactly.
possibly a mask sometimes.
Sometimes.
And but he had an Indian friend, but he brought him around because sometimes if they knew their place.
Occasionally, you can do that with
If
the
they know
Redskins.
their place.
You can. Now, this business of being able to play these violent video games as the bad person, as the minority that steals from the white shop owner, to be actually able to play from their perspective, I think sends the wrong message.
Yeah.
I think it sends the wrong message. In fact, I think that having actual weapons that make realistic noises. Remember when we were kids, we could play let's call it a violent video game. The violent video game of our day was holding up your fingers, your hand, your fist, sticking out your finger and your thumb, forming a fake gun,
right,
and going bang, bang.
Bang, bang, you're dead.
Right? And of course, you always had the goofy kid in your group play the Indian because you wanted to be the cowboy. You wanted to be the cop, not the robber. You want to be the cowboy, not the Indian. And again, I don't understand why they keep portraying these old white men in these games as buffoons that repeat themselves. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I do not get that at all.
I would say that it's reinforcing a stereotype, except it's not even a stereotype. It's like they're trying to make it a stereotype by putting it in every single game.
They're forcing it.
Yeah, they're making us be loud and boisterous and buffoons, and then we repeat ourselves. We don't repeat ourselves. Why would they say that?
I don't know why they'd say that. I don't. Do you?
No, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And I think that it has to change. It has to change right now, right here. It has to start with the Stillwater City Council.
Yeah.
It has to start with people like our great Chief Monroe. Why wouldn't our children want to be like Chief Monroe instead of these what do they call these guys? These Los Carnales.
Yeah.
Jack Armstrong is always talking about it on the news. That Los Carnales this and Los Carnales that and who else? The Third Street Saints. That's an area of town you want to stay away from. That's an area of town.
I don't even drive through it anymore.
I understand that that's the only area of town that there actually is ammo lying on the ground. And I say ammo because I spent time in the service.
Oh, sure, yeah. You did
I know what ammo's all about. I'm not one of these older white guys that consistently repeats themselves as they show us in the video games doing so. I think that's just insane. I don't know why they do that.
No, I don't get it either. We're not loud and boisterous. We don't repeat ourselves.
No, we're not loud. No. We're not boisterous. We're not loud.
When my grandfather got sick, it was the only thing that got him through the day. I know it was illegal, but it really helped.
There's a wonder drug that can take the place of food, make the coward brave, the silent eloquent, and render the sufferer insensitive to pain. 500,000 citizens are arrested each year for simple possession. During the next election, end the prohibition, vote yes on Proposition 208, and legalize medical cocaine.
Don't miss the next episode of Serious Cougar. Eunice goes on a bender with a pool boy and breaks her hip. If women in their 20s don't know their ass from their elbow, and women in their 50s know what they like, imagine being with an experienced, pleasure-loving octogenarian wrestling with dementia and horniness. The show that hits below the belt, just like her breasts. Serious Cougar, Wednesday nights at 9 on Weasel.
What is DNA?
How old is the Earth?
What's holding me back?
Are we all from the same tree?
Why is science so confusing?
How many women can I lie with?
Can I pay money and have all of life's answers?
Yes.
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 We speak 160 languages on 6 continents, including Antarctica.
Kiflam.
We are the Epsilon program.
You want to up your running game? Run like a caveman! Finally! Shoes are getting back to nature. Toe shoes! You were born barefoot, your ancestors ran barefoot. And now, toe shoes allow you to run barefoot but with shoes that look like feet. Slightly deformed, web-toed, brightly colored feet. Just like our ancestors that died at 25 of rickets. They're like wearing no shoes at all, as nature intended. Toe shoes! They're shoes for toes and twats.
Does dinner time sound like this?
I'm not eating this crap!
Does Friday night sound like this?
Screw you, Mom. I want to get laid.
Do you long for a different time when we were free to raise our children to actually respect us?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hitting kids works wonders. Hi, I'm Alan McLean, child behavioral psychologist and former U.S. Marine. With my easy system, I'll turn your disruptive, unruly kids around fast. Let's face it, kids are rotten little shits. When I served our country, I learned a lot about changing behavior and winning people over. Offer candy, then a butt of the gun to the face. Buy my book, Hitting Kids Works Wonders, today.